Hi, this is Mike, making my video, add to my collection. Basically, I think about the highest form of creation there is. And, creating something from the quantum void, you know, there really isn't anything left uh, to be, do, or have. There's, there really isn't anything left to do or be or have. There's, to the point where there's really nothing left. I created things out of nothingness, and there's nothing really left to do or be or have out of that. Out of those things that exist in the quantum void, in the quantum field, there's really nothing left. I've exhausted, pretty much everything there is to do. There really is nothing left anymore, other than the fact that I just eat, drink, and be merry, tinker with things, and I take solace, in the things that I do, but there really isn't anything left to do anymore. I've gotten to the point where I've exhausted all the possibilities as far as things go. I've had Corvettes and Charger police cars, Mercedes 12 cylinders, Porsche 914s or 911s, or excuse me, 944s, and diesel trucks, diesel cars, many other trucks. I've had all kinds of girlfriends, all kinds of education. I've done all kinds of miracles. There really isn't anything left to do anymore. Other than the fact that I just, I take pleasure in doing small things in life that are left. There really isn't anything left to do anymore. There is nothing left to do anymore. I pretty much exhausted everything there is to do. It leaves me, holding the bag, where there really is nothing left to do anymore. There's, I've got things that I like, things that I appreciate, but the greatest possible gifts that I got, is my mind. And, my mind is, more or less the gateway to discovering things. It says that the human mind is, I think they say, about 200,000 times more powerful, or 20,000 times. I think it's 200,000 times more powerful than the fastest supercomputer. And you think about it, what's left. There really isn't anything left to do anymore. There's the fact that we exist in kind of in a medium, where there really isn't much left to do anymore. Be or have, So, with that being said, I've created an anime, or an anime girls I've created, and you know, I've actually had to where they could think and reason. And then I went one step farther and I created a leprechaun. The leprechaun could think and reason, you know, he could speak to me. And he was a little man, you know, he was probably 2.5 feet tall, somewhere in there. You know, probably, you know, maybe 3 feet tall at the most, but probably 2.5 feet tall, respectively. And you know, you think about it, you know, I spent countless hours by myself, and I've definitely spent a lot of time by myself, and I thought about things. And then one fine day, it manifested, or it became a reality. So there's really no other way to say it other than the fact that, you know, it just exists independently. Uh, you know, of all the things I've done, you know, I've got grandchildren and I got children, you know, basically I've created, but this is actually something that's far different than that. You know, it's something that existed, that doesn't really have an explanation to it. You know, so you know, I spend a lot of the time by myself. I feel lonely, and you know, sometimes I feel like I'm all alone. You know, like once you let the genie out of the bottle, there is no going back to go and collecting $200. There is no going back to the original place you were at. Once you set the wheels in motion, once you've gotten to that point of no return, there is no return. My reality is so starkly different than, you know, basically other people's. And, you know, with that being said, you know, there's really nothing different than that. I mean, there's really nothing I can go back to. You know, I can't go back to the point where I was 18 years old, and you know, I can't. You know, when I brought people back from the dead, you know, and I've seen that, and resurrected people, and you know, I struck people dead, and destroyed buildings, destroyed people, raptured people, started people on fire, and you know, done all kinds of things like that. And you know, I beautified a woman once where she was a princess, and I turned a prince into a king. You know, or a princess and a prince into a prince, regular man into a prince. You know, so you know, there really is nothing left to do anymore. You know, I've got some things I'm up against. You know, I've got some challenges ahead of me, but you know, they're not impossible. And you know, you think about it. You know, this world could come to an end, and it really wouldn't have an effect on me. It's just, you know, the fact is that, you know, I would cease to exist, and you know, well, yeah, I would cease to exist, and it probably, you know, the fact is I wouldn't be aware of it anyway. So, I mean, even though, you know, it would come to an end, you know, I would have cognizance about it, and I would understand it. But you know, you think about it, you know, how lonely things are, you know, how empty I feel, and you know, how things are really. There's really nothing else to do anymore. There is no more magical abilities. You know, lightning only strikes once, and you know, the odds of it happening again, you know, are very rare. And you know, it's like you're asking for a miracle to happen at another juncture and point in time in life. You know, when you know the odds of that happening are almost impossible, and you know, there really is nothing left to do anymore. There's no more. There's no hooplas. There's no more. There's no more things. You know, there's no more things to do anymore. There's very few things to accomplish that I haven't already done. I think I am in alignment. I am in alignment, with doing the things that I want to do in life. But with that being said, there just isn't anything else to do anymore. I was the king. I was the lover. The creator, the destroyer, God. The fool, and like I said, the warrior God, the man of the earth. The guy who's associated with money and finances. And of course, I've worked with automobiles and computers and houses and stuff like that, and warehouse work and stuff like that. And I worked with food, I worked with wood, I worked with metal. And there's just after all that's said and done, there just really isn't anything else to do anymore. I guess I just got to eat, drink, and be merry, and enjoy the little things in life. Sometimes things don't bring me pleasure like they used to. Those types of things that are sought after, the things I seek, they don't bring me pleasure like they used to. And, the things that I chase after, nowadays, I really don't chase after anything anymore. It's gotten to the point where I really don't seek after things other than the fact that, I, do whatever. And there really isn't anything left to do anymore. Those things are few and far between. The crests and the valleys, the hills and the summits. There's just nothing to chase after anymore. I can be with any woman I want. Online or whatever, and I can learn anything there is to learn, for the most part. With the advent of artificial intelligence. And, as far as miracles are concerned, I've really gotten to the point where I've done pretty much everything I wanted to do. There's nothing really higher than the fact that I've done everything that I wanted to do. There just isn't anything left anymore. There's no more things to chase after. There's no dragon to chase after per se. There is nothing. And with that being said, that's really all there is to it. I repair things, I fix things, I work on computers, and I live kind of a simple life, a basic, modest life. And there's just I can't think of anything else there is to do anymore. There's just nothing else. I rack my mind, and there's just no more things to do. There's nothing to accomplish. And as far as like women go, and I've done all that. And as far as like making millions of dollars, I made $50 million. I'd like to make money again, but honestly, what would I buy? And what else is there? So, what else is there to learn? Where else is there to go? What else is there to be, do, or have? I became like God. I became like Adam was. There really is nothing left to do anymore. Other than the fact that you just enjoy things and do the simple things in life. So, that being said, that's all I really have to say.